everyone. Today I'm sharing about the story of Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump was a novel written by Winston Groom in 1986. It was made into a famous movie starred by Tom Hanks in 1994. However, there are lots of differences between the original story and the movie. Forrest Gump was born an idiot, but he was cleverer than people thought. His father died soon after he was born. One day when his father was working on a ship, a big box of bananas fell down on him and killed him. Forrest studied in an ordinary school for a year. In the school, all the students were laughing at him, and they stayed away from him. There was only a girl who didn't run away. Her name was Jenny Curran, and she was really nice to Forrest. Then they put Forrest into an idiot school. There were lots of students who couldn't do many things without help. So Forrest thought that the boys there were all very strange. He stayed there for about 6 years. When he was 16 years old, he was much taller and stronger than the other students at the same age. One day when he was walking home, a car stopped beside him. Inside the car was a football coach called Fellers. He asked Forrest to play football in his school. So, Forrest was in a new high school. One day in the school cafe, he met Jenny Curran. She was grown up with pretty hair and a beautiful face. Forrest was happy that Jenny still remembered him. Then, days later after school, a group of boys came up to Forrest and started laughing at him and hitting him. Forrest ran away and with the boys chasing after him. He ran across the football field at an amazing speed. Coach Fellers saw it, and he was surprised. He told Forrest to run with a ball. He ran as fast as he could, and the other football teammates ran after him. When they finally caught Forrest, it needed 8 people to pull him down. Coach Fellers was pleased. Then they had their first game. Forrest got the ball and ran over the goal line for 3 times and won the game. After that, people were really kind to him. But then something bad happened. One day, Forrest went to the cinema with Jenny. The movie they watched, there were lots of killings and shootings in the movie they watched. Forrest laughed a lot, and people were all looking at him. Jenny was embarrassed, and she got down lower and lower in her seat. Once Forrest thought she was on the floor. He put his hand on her shoulder to pull her up. But what she pulled wasn't Jenny's shoulder, but her dress. It came open, and Jenny screamed. Then Forrest was taken to the police station. He was in trouble, but he was lucky. A letter from a university said that if he played football in their school, he could study there. So the next day, Forrest got to the new university and started practicing football there. They won their first game because of him, and people were really pleased at him. When he went back to his room that night, he heard music from somewhere upstairs. He followed the music and found a young man playing the harmonica in his room. His name was Booba. He had his foot broken in football practice, so he couldn't join the game. Forrest listened to Booba playing harmonica for a while, and he asked to try it. He held the harmonica and began playing. Although he didn't learn to play harmonica before, he was really good at it. so Booba told him to keep the harmonica. The next day, while Forrest was returning to his room, a person called his name behind him. He turned around and saw Jenny Curran smiling at him. She wasn't angry with what had happened in the cinema, and she was there studying music because she wanted to become a singer. After a year in the university, Forrest wasn't allowed to stay there anymore because of his poor grades. He left the school and went home. Soon after he arrived home, he learned that he had to go in the army. During the whole year in the army, he just had to do what he was told to do. It was pretty easy for him. He was told to shoot guns, throw hand grenades, and move along the ground on his stomach. A year later, they were sent to fight in the war in Vietnam. In Vietnam, he met Booba. Booba had left the school because his foot was too bad to play football anymore. But it wasn't too bad for the army, so he was there. Booba had planned to buy a shrimp boat when they were home again, and he wanted to catch shrimp, open a restaurant, and make a lot of money. He had planned it all. But one day, when they were searching for enemy soldiers, the enemy soldiers suddenly started shooting at them. Lots of men were injured. When Forrest found Booba, there was blood all over him and 2 bullets in his stomach. Booba asked Forrest to play a song with the harmonica to him. Although the shootings were still going on, Forrest played a song with the harmonica Booba had given him. Then Booba said something softly, "Home," and then he died. The rest of the night was terrible. Forrest got shot in the back of his leg. He didn't care. Booba was dead, and his shrimp business idea was dead with him. Forrest just wanted to die too, but then their helicopters came and rescued him. An hour later, he was out of there on his way to the hospital. It's the end of my sharing for today. Thank you.